This is part 3 of the series on building a divergence logic template within Bloodhound. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find the divergence when you have a small pivot high and low between the two larger pivots that you want to measure divergence at. So we do have a higher high here in price and a lower high in MACDs when we skip this pivot in the middle. So in order to eliminate this pivot, what do we have to do? I think all we have to do is just add one more swing into the SI swings indicator that's on the MACD. So I think we just add this, change this to 4. Let's see. Yeah, that got it. But now rather than using the tightest tops and tightest bottoms to find the lower high or the higher low, if we're looking at the lows, rather than using the tightest top or the tightest bottom, we're going to have to use the widest top and widest bottom. So let me just build that. Okay, I went ahead and copied that. Let me show you. I didn't rename this in the last video. Let me go ahead and rename it. This is a nasty name. So what is our settings here? I think it's 313, yeah. So I'm just going to say how could I word this? Whatever. Swings high, low. MACD. I'm going to put the setting out here. 313. Okay, and then I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to change this to 413 of the MACD. And rather than using the tightest tops and bottoms, I'm going to be using the widest. So for the widest top, we want a short. Widest bottom, we want a long. Okay, and likewise do the same thing here. Widest bottom, long. Widest top, short. One bar ago. And then come out here, right click, go to existing solvers, and bring it out. So now, let's disconnect this. Okay, I'm going to add this to it. So now we should have divergence there, yeah. Alright, so let's see how many cases we have of false signals within the past 5 days. That depends on whether you want to call this a signal or not. I mean, it's actually lower, and this is higher. So do you want to call that divergence? Some people will. And then it's also finding the just your regular divergence between two pivots. So let's see how many cases. Okay, well, it found that's a good one. It's definitely good because it's filtering out that little pivot there. This is a little bit lower, and this is a little bit higher. What do you think about this one? I guess that works. So that's filtered out quite a bit here. It's filtered out all of this and all of that. So it's really only looking at that pivot and this pivot. So that works. Technically that works. And then that's regular divergence. Now it missed this one right here, this first one, because it's actually going up to this pivot. So it didn't count when it was looking from this low to this low, because you can see the purple line, the widest bottom to the widest bottom. By that time, price is above this low, so it's kind of, they're not looking at the same area, so that works. This does not. Yes, it does too, because that is a double top. It is a double top, and this is a lower high. Okay, so that's working. I don't see any bad signals, really. Not yet. That's good. Lower high, higher high. It missed this one. Okay, but we can come back and get that one. It got this just barely from here to there. So some people would definitely want to call that a divergence. I, however, would not, probably. We've got that double bottom. It's actually measuring from this pivot back here. So that just happened to work out. We got that one, which is a very small one. So it looks good. I'm not going to keep wasting time here. That looks good. So now, where was one that we didn't get? Right here. Okay, why did it get this one? Because it's looking, okay, this is a bad signal. This is the one bad signal I was hoping we would find. So just to show you the error in this, I imagine it's very difficult to program an accurate divergence. But you know, what you can do with Bloodhound so simply, like I've done, pretty amazing, really, when you think about it. I'm sure a lot of programmers would be impressed with this. The capability and functionality of Bloodhound. So you can see it's actually looking, in price, it's looking at this pivot right here. This is the pivot the price is looking at, because you can see the purple line, and this low is below that line. Okay, but MACDs are looking here, from this low to this high. I'm sorry, from this low to this low, this higher low. So really, price is not looking from here to here. Price is looking from here to here. So there is a divergence there, but in reality, that's not a good signal, so that's faulty. So what we do, we can't eliminate that good signal, because then we eliminate all the other good ones. So we have to combine these two in an OR node, because we want either or of these to be true, and then either one of them to be true together with this one. So now we'll get all of the signals. So you see we get this one now, we get this little one, we get this one, that little one. I don't know why this is marked. I think I was marking that just as a theoretical example. So let's say, I'm not going to add this in the template that I'm going to send out, but let's say you wanted to add another filter. So let's say, what was it? EMA. No, that works. But let's just say that you wanted to add a filter that price had to be near the outer band. Most of the time that's going to be the case when using the MACD. If you were using CCI or something like that, you would get divergences all over the place. Like, you'd probably get one here, who knows. But using the MACD, they're pretty well almost always at the outer band. But let's say it had to be touching the outer band or beyond. Had to be at the outer band or beyond. Let's say if you wanted that to be a filter, you would use a comparison. You would use the SI chameleon again, the high-low. So low for longs, high for shorts. And you connect this. Then you would add your Keltner channel. I've just made this a few seconds ago. So I just opened up the regular Keltner and then changed all the SMAs to EMAs to get a Keltner EMA channel. So for the lower we want longs, the upper we want shorts. Okay, so you see now it's colored the whole thing, right? Well, that's not what we want at all. So let's inverse that. Hang on a second, what have I done here? So low for longs, low has to be below it. Oh, I see. Didn't change the settings. 3.5, 55, low for longs, yeah. Okay, so there we go. So now if it's touching or below, it will allow a signal with divergence. And I'm going to displace this. Should I displace the Keltner channel 1? Or no, I'm going to displace the price 1. There we go. So now I'm going to pull this off to the side, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to high-low to Keltner EMA. I'll say high-low to outer band. So it's going to eliminate this short. It might eliminate that short too. It'll eliminate all of these. It's only going to allow the ones that are actually touching the outer band or beyond. So I'm going to connect that now. So you see, it's only going to allow those divergences at the outer band or beyond. So that one just barely didn't get hit. So we could do this. We could say we could allow 1 tick. So if we want to allow, actually, since it's inversed, I'm not explaining all this or teaching all this because this isn't part of the deal. So I'm just kind of showing you some of the possibilities you can do. So with a small amount, you could set this to 2 ticks, and it will allow when it's within a couple of ticks. So if it's close, then you want to allow it. Like right there, it's close, so you allow it. You could add all sorts of different trend filters, so that it has to be going down for so many swings back, or however you want to do it. There's a million different trend filters you could add from higher time frame or whatever. So that's divergence in a nutshell. So I'm going to delete this, delete that, and I'll send it out just like it is now. And then if you want to get rid of the one that is allowing for a pivot high and low in between the 2 larger pivots, then you'll just X this out. Actually, here's what I'll do. No, because that'll confuse people. Yeah, I am going to do that. So this is divergence as I would probably use it. And if you want the added capability of showing when there's a pivot high or low in between the 2 larger pivots, then you'll delete that and add this. Okay, so that's it. That's divergence in a nutshell. Regular divergence, that is. I guess at some point I will show how to use the T3 divergence potential to show. It'll show regular divergence as well as retracement divergence. So I'll show that in a video at some point. So that's a wrap for the divergence videos.